Peter and I both brought AI or machine learning articles to the table this week. Peter's going to start today's Not So Critical update.
Yeah, this was a fascinating thread that I saw on Twitter by someone who talked about some of the interesting things that happen when you start training an AI. There was, I think my favorite one, which isn't on the screen at the moment, was about how they had been training an AI to recognize the difference between coyotes and wolves. And then they realized that, and it was really good. It was like really effective. It was 90%. It could always figure out which one was a wolf, which one was a coyote. And then they realized that actually what was happening was that the AI had learned to recognize the backgrounds that were in the pictures for the wolves, and then the backgrounds that were in the pictures for the coyotes. And that's what it was matching, not the actual animal itself.
Because all the pictures of coyotes had snow in the background, and all the pictures of wolves had snow in the background, and all the pictures of coyotes had like trees in the background. So the AI learned to identify snow, basically.
That's funny.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I think the actual main article was about. So it was the first post. It was about that's the wolves and coyotes thing. So the first one was it's just fascinating, right? The AI muddies the origin of certain data sets. This can mean that researchers miss important features that skew the training of their models. Many unwittingly used a data set that contained chest scans of children who did not have COVID as their examples of what non-COVID cases looked like. But as a result, the AIs learned to identify kids and not COVID. So we're just like, oops. and the other part was that that because this is fascinating, that some of the hospitals which had more sick people than others used a particular font in the labels. So the AI was recognizing the font as the thing that indicated someone was sick or not, more likely to be sick. Or if they were lying down, they were more seriously ill. So the AI, if you were lying down in a picture, then the AI was like, "Oh, that's a dying person." Like, yeah,
worst case, severe case. But one example was about they would put rulers in the picture to measure the tumors, but instead of learning to identify tumors, the AI just learned to identify rulers. So lots of reading through this entire thread, which will, if I remember when I post the video, I'll share the link to it. I 50-50 on whether I will or not, but well worth looking for. It is in our Discord server, so you
closer
could join
to 90. Oh yeah. Anybody who wants to contribute here, join Discord.
The other article that I paired with this, though, was about this cheetah robot who taught itself how to run, but apparently taught itself how to run in kind of a weird way, because when they trained it, they just put it in a virtual simulation to run thousands of tries to learn. And what made it different was that they were teaching it to run on uneven surfaces. So they simulated different levels of friction and softness so that the robot could be prepared for a range of surfaces they need to tackle in the real world, like grass, pavement, ice, or gravel. But they did it over and over again in simulation, and it just taught itself like this kind of weird way to do it. But it was faster. They could do in 3 hours what would have taken 100 hours in the real world.
Oh, wow.
I love this. This is like speeded up evolution. And it seems like, here's the thing, going back to the thing about the people who are more likely to be sick, but the AI was actually matching the font or the rulers or whatever. Maybe that's a valid way of predicting whether, I mean, it's a correlation, not a causation, but maybe that actually works in the real world. If it's accurate enough, then
I guess that's true. If you take somebody for a scan, it's more relevant whether they're lying down or standing up than the actual results of the scan. Is that your theory?
I suppose. Well, okay. What about the wolves and the coyotes, right? So in that case, wolves are more likely to be in an environment like that. So even as a human being, if I saw an animal, I am not familiar with the difference between a wolf and a coyote. Let me just be clear about that, because I couldn't tell the difference. I could probably say, oh, that's a wolf. And then
one
if you
lives
showed
in
me a
the
coyote, I'd be
snow
like,
and the other lives in the woods,
looks-
apparently.